Hi, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, I don't do these regularly because, as I said to you before, if I've nothing to say, I'm not going to waste your time. But having said that, I do follow Jay Snips, and the irony there that he spent an hour maybe on his channel yesterday or the day before that he put it up, telling people not to watch YouTube videos, but he had over 4,000 followers watching his YouTube video while he was telling them not to watch YouTube videos. But I mean, in many ways, he was right. He was making light of it, and there is so much horror, and there is so much deviation that we're getting pulled in all directions. And we don't know what's true, what's not true. We don't know who to trust, who not to trust. So at the end of the day, yeah, you've just got to trust yourself. So, but I did think it was funny that there he was on his YouTube channel saying, don't watch YouTube. He was basically saying just switch off, give your brain a rest, give your fear levels a rest, and take each day as it comes. And that was good. And it followed on to something else today, I felt, because having moved up for Cornwall, having left my garden just as spring is coming along, to be left with a concrete backyard in the middle of a brick terrace, um, sometimes I forget to celebrate my abundance. And I think we all sometimes forget to celebrate our abundance. And I've signed up for an online conference. It's free. Anybody can do it. I put it on the CA group about the shamanic conference that's taking place from today until the 11th. And I've only tuned into two of the sessions so far. The first one, I had to admit, I didn't watch it to the end. Maybe I should have done, but I didn't. Anyway, the second one was a sort of interview with Nitzak Beery, a shaman living currently, I think, in New York. Um, he's about to go on his travels. He's been to various places trying to ensure that the shamanic practices of all the different indigenous tribes, whether it be Peru or Syria or wherever, Celtic shamanic tribes, that the practices are retained, and that not only for their benefit but for the benefit of everybody moving forward. And the whole 40 odd minutes, whilst it was interesting, it wasn't riveting, but it was interesting. There was one wee bit that really got to me, and he was saying, just because you don't live with plants in the country, just because you cannot reach nature, doesn't mean there's not spirit round about you. The buildings have spirit, the pavements have spirit, the bricks and mortar, there's spirit in this. He says, your sacred, like I've got a sacred shelf, your sacred bits and pieces that you consider sacred to you, whether it be crystals or feathers or shells or stones or um, I don't know what you might have. Everybody's different. But whatever you have that you consider sacred didn't come to you sacred. You made it sacred. You talked to it. You put your energy into it. And then it gives you that energy back when you need it. And what he was saying was that even though you live in a concrete jungle, talk to it. Send messages to it. Be grateful that it's there. And in shamanic terms, the getting back to nature, if all you've got is one plant, if all you want to do is put one plant on your windowsill, then you're putting life into nature. And I thought, it just sparked me off. It cheered me up. I've got I use these polystyrene packing boxes and I fill it with compost. I'll put cut and come again lettuces in there on my kitchen windowsill. I've got the seeds, I've got the box, I've got the compost. I would have done it today if I hadn't had my bone therapy on my leg. Um, and I've got a bush tomatoes this time rather than the vines that need supported and so on. I'll give them a go out the back. It's a new experience for me. It's what can I grow in that concrete backyard? And I have to start somewhere, even if it's just a few herbs and things. Um, and then, of course, I'll have to learn how to forage. One or two things in my mind already, and I'm going on a forage walk in at the end of April, which is why my leg needs to be better by then. But it was just this every so often, it's just a word, a sentence, a phrase that somebody says that gets you back on the right track. And that did it for me today. If you only have one, if you can't get into nature and you only have one plant, get that one plant, breathe into that one plant, speak to that one plant, let that be your bit of nature. And as you go round the town, speak to what's there. Send your messages out to it, make it part of you, put your energy into it, and it'll give you back fourfold. I like that. And it brought me back to sense. And it made me grateful for what I've got. I'm so abundant. Um, it's amazing. I've got a roof over my head. I've got food in the fridge. I've got friends galore. Thank you for them. So grateful for them. And yeah, I need to remember and be grateful. I need to remember I have abundance. And if I don't get to walk amongst the trees, I can talk to the one plant that I've got. I've actually got a few here in the attic under the Velux window. But anyway, that's by the by. It brought me back to sense. So hopefully, just listen about. There may well be one wee phrase, one wee saying that brings you back to where you need to be. And hang on to that phrase or saying and build it into your own personal first aid kit for when you find it, when you've forgotten to be grateful. Thanks very much for tuning in. If this is going to help anybody or you think it'll help anybody, feel free to share it. I'm not going to do the share the like and subscribe and all that. But and any comments, if you want to add a comment underneath so that I see whether I'm the right place or whatever, that would be good. It's nice to get the two-way on these things. So, yep. Hope to see you again soon. Thanks for tuning in.